Welcome to Gen X Rated Tuesday edition. How we doing, Billy?
Good. Well, what happened to the music? You kind of cut the music off. I like to let it run a little longer.
I'm sorry, I felt rushed. A little late start today.
That's fine. We'll keep
Next
it
time.
short.
Yeah, I'll let the exit music go longer as we say
All
goodbye.
right. Good deal. Doing good. Doing good today.
Okay.
The usual level of outrage and dismay, and yeah, it's funny how quick you get used to it.
I was going to say that it becomes almost numbing. I
Mhm.
used to be a little bit outraged on Twitter by everything. Uh, Now it's just status quo. I mean, oh, really? You're going after Russia Gate? Oh, we're going after uh, satellites that help us with climate change. Oh, fill in the blank. We're charging tourists $15,000 deposit to come here. Like,
Yeah, with no guarantee you'll get your money back. I would not trust that.
I mean, these topics are just ridiculous. But in true form, we're kind of here to share them with you, and then you see if they're ridiculous to you. Because a lot of people say, "Hey, get over it, woke liberals. What's wrong with you?"
Yeah, okay, great. But you know what? It's not only woke liberals are going to be affected by a deliberately crashed economy.
I feel like that's we're heading towards, yeah, a financial issue. When you have the president saying everything's amazing, numbers are incredible. Mm, I don't know about that. Again,
Yeah, I don't think so.
I went shopping again today. No meat purchases, uh, and spent several $100s just on like your basic stuff to have in the house. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, it really is. It's outrageous, and it's going to affect a lot of people if it's not already affecting them.
Well, the markets are what they're using as a gauge. The markets have never been stronger, et cetera, et cetera.
I don't know
Um,
about that.
and I would agree with you. But then you have like Palantir is just uh, money hand over fist. And we know that most of our people in the House got involved in that because they knew we were
Mhm.
going to give a ton of billions of dollars of contracts to them to spy on it, on us. And maybe spying's not the right term, to gather information.
Yeah, I think spying's a pretty good, pretty apt term there.
Well, Trump's going to set up a whole program where all your medical information will be online. You can submit it. Everybody will know everybody that's got this, that, and the other. And we talked about this before. It seemed like it'd be a real convenient thing. You call the pizza place, they already know your order. This is great. But what they found was as they were taking information from us in the 80s and 90s, companies were using it to get rid of people, to find your, health and physical history, to kind of, protect themselves against you.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I mean the insurance companies, they're very much aware, and they'll use anything against you to turn you down.
Yeah.
They don't
It
care.
seems like discrimination, but
Well, it
maybe
does,
that's
and I mean we've had electronic medical charting for a while now, and it's helpful in a lot of cases. When your doctor needs to share an image or a report, it's great. But there's no need for the big tech companies to know every detail of your health history.
I couldn't agree more.
Absolutely not. It's creepy and it's really disturbing.
I think so too. To that point, the global watch list for sliding into authoritarianism has the U.S. on the list, which seems like
Mm.
a thing out of left field. But clearly, if we watch the policies, they mentioned today that Trump is halfway through the Project 2025 wish list. You got the Speaker of the House at the Wailing Wall in Israel. You got the governor of Arkansas there with her dad. Um, Wailing at the wall themselves. I'm sure we're paying for that trip so she could go over and help her dad. Meanwhile, the international press is only allowed to fly over certain times a day, but they're flying over Gaza, and it's disturbing. If you haven't seen it, you should really look for some of the visuals. It's not about blood and gore. It's about complete annihilation of a civilization. I don't know what you call it, but that place
Yeah.
is flattened, unlivable, and it's disturbing.
Yeah, yeah, it really is, and it's just it's genocide, man. You can call it what you want to, and it doesn't make you anti-Semitic for calling it out. But this is a systematic attempt to destroy a group of people.
It's it's and
Created by people, a group that has had this done to them. It's disturbing. And again, this is a Netanyahu thing. This is not anti-Semitic, because there are plenty of Jewish people that are against this, because this is not, it's just not right. And this isn't about, it's not even about defense. You're not defending, you're wiping out a bunch of innocent people. And the fact, that when the aid trucks came in, you sent snipers out to systematically pick off and murder people just looking to get food to feed their starving kids. It's horrific. Yeah. It is horrific. It's right out of the SS and the Nazi playbook. It's beyond disturbing. And, it's not anti-Semitic, and it's not being anti-Jewish. It's being anti-criminal. And let's call a spade a spade. Netanyahu's a criminal. And this whole thing is just orchestrated to keep him out of jail. He struck a hard right as settlers, again, who are people who have committed murder, in order to gain more land for themselves, murdering innocent people and families. The Israeli officials do nothing, or maybe you get a slap on the wrist, if you're a settler and you murder somebody. But yeah, so Netanyahu's, aligned himself with these horrible people. And I really do believe that the average Israeli is not for this. They're against this. They can't stand Netanyahu. They can't stand what is happening. So you can't paint, every Israeli with the same brush. But by the same token, as a whole, the Israeli government is dead wrong on this. It's disturbing, it's disgusting, and it's really, really maddening.
Well, the Attorney General in Israel, who's charging Netanyahu, was fired and removed. So it's very similar to here. Like the numbers, you get rid of the person. This is not what you're seeing, a livable situation for anybody. And the words came out finally, occupation. They're just looking to occupy Gaza. They're not looking to get anybody in, out, or anywhere else. It's we own you. This is our land. And that's not a two-state solution, and that's not really going to get any kind of resolution without more violence. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's horrific.
It's absolutely disturbing. We had the same thing here with the numbers, which we've already talked about, where Trump didn't like the numbers. But I will say this, as far as the economy and the stock market in particular, other nations are buying into those numbers. They're not going to be following the everything's great. And as they pull money out of this country, it's going to be a real problem for our debt.
It's going to be a huge problem. I mean, our credit rating's already been downgraded.
Well, we're only adding to our own debt. Apparently, we think that that's the way to go to get people richer. To your point, the State Department is charging travelers from some countries. Would you like to tell me what area mainly?
Well, it's not going to apply to travelers from Europe or from New Zealand or Australia, but mainly countries where people have a little bit more melanin in their skin.
Absolutely, $5,000 to $15,000 bond in order to come into this country. It's a little deposit, as we said.
Yeah, so you don't stay your visa, and you know what? I would not trust these people to give me my money back when I left the country.
Well, as we said,
we'll send you a check.
As we said 2 weeks ago, they do not. That part hasn't been worked out yet. Whether how they'll get the return to you. I'm going to put this up because this is from May 13th. A couple months ago, the number was 12.5 billion that we were set to lose. That number's up to 29 now. They're just ridiculous numbers. Places like Florida are really going to feel it. People aren't coming here, and there's a reason for that. They're afraid they're going to get picked up off the streets. They're afraid of this, that, and the other, and it's understandable, frankly.
Yeah, I mean, why would you want to? Why would you even take that chance? Where even if you're coming through customs, they're going to take your phone and look through all your contacts and all your social media. That's insane. Why would you do that? And just like we talked about last time, the fact that they kept a little league team from coming here for the Little League World Series.
Yeah. Well, now they're going to do it. Go ahead.
So they can do that too with the World Cup and with the Olympics?
Next up is the Olympics. He's going to create a task force to go into LA and grift. I mean, that's the impression you get anytime this guy puts together a group of anybody. How many Latinx are we going to put in this? That they're going to do added construction, they're going to do overruns, they're going to do the financing. I mean, it's just a great way for them to make more money. And we're getting to the point where it's just far too much. And then we have, and again, that's way behind the scenes. This Russian hoax. You have Pam Bondi now that's going to call in Hillary and former President Clinton to come in and talk about this Russian gate. Again, Comey, Barr, Garland. I didn't see very many Republicans on this list, but they're going to come in. They're going to talk about it. I mean, the bottom line is nobody said the Russians came in and raided the ballot box. What they did was influence people's perception of what went on. They did it all across social media. They did it on Facebook in particular, where they would send racist KK Klan members out to a park where they already know that Black Lives Matter are, just to fuel the fire. And it was enough of that and enough swaying with ignorance that they helped him. There's no doubt that they helped him. I don't know that he took that election cleanly either. But my point is, he had a lot of help. They were okay with it at the time. I mean, how do we forget Paul Manafort? I mean, it wasn't his first rodeo. He got everything that Trump wanted. They gave all the internal data numbers to Russia to help them. Manafort's a criminal. He was in jail. He was in jail, convicted, but he got out because he's an older gentleman, and COVID, it wasn't safe for him to stay in jail.
Yeah, I mean, I still remember seeing those texts that his daughter published about just what a horrible person that guy is.
Well, how can he not be? He seemed like just a terrible person. And anybody, listen, obviously he was in it for the money, but it really fits with Trump regardless. So,
for sure.
But why is he not in jail? And then again, all these distractions come away from Epstein. So now we're going to talk about Epstein and his issues. They want to bring people out of the woodwork to say that Trump didn't do anything. Trump wasn't part of it. But the bottom line is he's all over the guy's internal office at his house. We've seen enough pictures to know that they were friendly, right or wrong. And just stop lying. Stop lying about it.
I don't think they can. I mean, Trump can't stop lying about anything. He's just a pathological liar. You know, it's like the old joke. How do you know when he's lying? Well, his lips are moving.
He is pretty terrible. So as far as the Epstein files, the U.S. House panel is going to subpoena Bill and Hillary, of course, because why not? And Bondi's part is she's seeking a grand jury to check into the Russia gate, ordering a prosecutor to present evidence against, whoever from back when that nobody cares. I mean, this is past history. While we're drowning here, we're going to look back at some distraction.
Well, is she going to investigate the bomb threats that were called into those precincts, those Democratic leading precincts?
That was this election. We're not worried.
We're going to look into that maybe while we're at it? No, maybe not so much. I guess her Epstein bar kind of has her wiped out, so she's kind of limited to what she can work on.
Well, we haven't seen her, but we are hearing a lot from her.
Jesus, these are the worst fucking people.
And keep in mind, in 2020, a Republican-led Senate Intelligence Committee released a bipartisan report confirming that Russia's efforts and communication with Trump campaign people, Manafort, was a thing. Whether it pushed him over the top or not, we can argue about that. But the point is, it was a bipartisan Senate committee that already talked about this. We're way beyond this. Why are we going back? I mean, are we afraid of some information coming out that's going to tie our dear leaders something?
I wouldn't be surprised. I just, I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, and what do we get from that guy? Let me put this photo up because he was very busy this morning. Trumpy Bear was. Where is he? Oh, there he is. It was the craziest thing.
Jump, jump, jump.
I mean, he is up on the roof. He's up on the roof of the White House. And they're like, what they call him? Piddler on the roof, which I thought. But they're like, "What are you doing?" And he's doing the wave thing, and yelling down to them. Nobody can really hear what he's saying. The general gist was that he's looking at for the East Wing ballroom, the $200 million ballroom that they want to add, which just doesn't fit. We showed the visual the other day. It's bigger than the White House, for God's sake. It makes no sense to be doing it. We saw the Rose Garden. They're like, hey, the bushes are still there. The greenway's gone. It looks like Mar-a-Lago. He hired his own cabinet maker to come in from Mar-a-Lago and do it around the White House. I mean, this is supposed to be temporary. This isn't your home.
Yeah, you're not moving in. Yeah, exactly.
And I'd be accepting of the day. He's got some real problems. There's no doubt.
Better get the extra strength one.
If Biden was seen wandering around on the roof, because at the beginning he was by himself, there was probably Secret Service in the background, but they would have said Grandpa's wandering around out of his mind.
Yeah.
But this guy, business guy.
He's playing 3D chess.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's okay. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's fucking ludicrous.
So at the same time, as this is, we're going to spend this kind of money, he's terminating $7 billion in federal grants intended to help low to moderate income families install solar panels, because we know that solar, the sun goes behind a cloud, everything turns off. I can't even watch TV. You can't make the battery argument with the shark in the boat and then not understand that you can, hold on to solar through batteries or whatever source you're using.
He has no comprehension of how most things work. He really doesn't.
I think you're right.
And I saw like a mashup clip the other day of him just saying about how he's, I know more about this than anybody. I know more about real estate than anybody. I know more about technology than anybody. I know more about physics than everybody. I know more about time travel than everybody. Like, this guy's just deluded. It's like talking to a sugared up 5-year-old. Honestly, everything that comes out of his mouth is just fucking bullshit. It's just a word slurry of just garbage and lies. And the fact that there's still people that believe every word this guy says. Now, hopefully some of them learned their lesson with the Epstein episode, and they're kind of figuring it out and waking up. Like, hey, this guy's a liar. I think Joe Rogan maybe has jumped off the bandwagon between that and the Iran bombing.
Sure. I mean, he keeps on rolling. There's no doubt about it. Not a huge fan.
No, I'm just saying. I mean, maybe he's losing some of these people. They're starting to figure it out that, Peepaw's not only a little soft in the head, but he's spewing out a lot of bullshit.
Well, you're seeing it in Texas too. They're trying to redistrict, and the only people I saw that came out to complain were white people, and they were like, this is not how it works. This is and several of them were veterans, and they said this is a great state of Texas deserves better than this kind of treatment where you're going to come in and you're going to take people's rights away from voting just because you don't like how they vote.
Yeah, and that with fair elections and fair voting districts, you're not going to win.
For sure.
That's the thing. So yeah, kudos to the Texas representatives that booked out of there so they couldn't form a quorum. Now, Greg Abbott, Hot Wheels, decided to issue arrest warrants. But you can't do shit. They went to Democratic states. You have no jurisdiction there. They haven't committed a crime.
He did get the FBI involved today, so they're going to help in the search for these people. It's been done before. The Republicans have left state before. Parsons, I think they said, and there's not a whole lot of teeth to it. It's not some type of felony. They're trying to make a point, and I think the citizens of that state are getting it.
I think so too. And Hot Wheels is just looking to win sound bites.
Sure, and that's why they're building another camp that has concentrated people in it. So
it's disgusting.
He's a pretty terrible person.
He's a horrible person.
So all this goes on. I think you remember when there was some firing at the National Weather Service. I know we talked about NOAA quite a bit. DOGE went in there and fired a bunch of people. How many did they fire? 550 staff were fired. And you've seen what's been happening with the weather. I don't think we can hide those facts. So what he's done is, Now, the National Weather Service has been granted special permission to hire 450 positions. You fired 550 people. Now you're going to bring in 450 people. You want to talk about waste and fraud and abuse? I mean, come on. I mean, you're looking at it. Now, we're going to hire, I'm sure, people that are going to be less paid than the people they got rid of. So I guess we'll see.
Probably less qualified. It might be Trump's former caddy. Maybe the woman that does Melania's toenails.
Nobody drops balls like that guy, okay?
The best and the brightest.
Go ahead.
Let's not forget the 22-year-old intern who's in charge of national security now.
Terrifying. He knows nothing of what he does.
Yeah.
So to this point, we know Sean Duffy. He's the transportation secretary.
Oh, and a real lumberjack champion. He gets up that tree so fast and he saws it down 7 years in a row.
Now he, kind of like Trump being the senior champion golf guy again and again, as we're watching caddies drop balls on the green. I mean, stop it already. So the White House has ordered NASA to terminate 2 major climate change focused satellite missions. This is the International Space Station. Thank you. And one of those satellites is attached to that. The other one is just collecting data, which apparently this regime hates data. Anybody that's a climate change denier, you probably don't want the data. But the bottom line is that other satellite's was supposed to go on for several more years. It's gathering enough data that's super helpful. It collects widely used data, providing both oil and gas companies and farmers with info about distribution of carbon dioxide and the effects it can have on health and crop health, not just our health. So it's really an undercutting of the farmers. Oil and gas, I don't think they care that much. But my point is the money that's being saved, this program for these 2 satellites, which we're supposed to continue on, the one that's not attached to the space station, when it reorbits, will dissipate. It'll go away, but we'll have all this great data for the next 4 or 5 years. The cost of those 2 programs is about $15 million. 15 million with an M. Now keep in mind NASA's budget is $25.4 billion. So it doesn't seem like a whole lot to stay on top of like the numbers and how our climate is changing. The biggest thing they talked about was it impairs the ability of forecasters to respond, manage severe weather and climate disasters. I guess we'd rather bury our head for that small amount of money. The reason why I'm going so in detail about the money and NASA is because this guy, who we just spoke of, Sean Duffy, came out today, and he is going to, here he is again, interim administrator at NASA. But what they want to do now is they want to put a nuclear reactor on the moon. I know, it sounds crazy.
Just imagine the logistics, right? Everything involved in building a nuclear reactor here on Earth. Materials, preparing the site, the workforce you need to build that. Then everything's got to be transported to the moon.
Yeah.
To be built by workers who each need their own spacesuit and a place to stay. Dude, it's ludicrous. It's like a joke.
It would seem that way if it wasn't, again, NASA's budget, not climate data or helping us deal with climate disasters, but we're going to build a nuclear reactor and put it on the moon within the next 10 years.
And now, what good does it do you to put it on the moon? Why on the moon?
Well, they wanted at least 100 kilowatts of power, which can run about 80 homes.
Will those homes be on the moon or will they be here on Earth? Oh, so we're going to live on the moon.
Some lucky folks, I would guess.
I thought Elon wanted to go to Mars.
I don't think that's doable. So this launch will be by 2030 is the idea. I do know that Russia and China had talked about getting together and trying to reach the moon as well. I don't know what their take is, whether it was to build a reactor, to colonize it. But in typical American fashion, we're saying, hey, this is the space race. We got to be, first in this new generation to get to the moon.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It just seems stupid.
I would agree with you, and a lot of money. So
And a lot of money.
2026 budget for the new programs, which is what they're calling this new program, $350 billion. And then in 2027, it'll go up, I think it's 350 million, and it'll go up to 500 million. So I don't know how you put a nuclear reactor on a space rocket and get it to the moon to begin with. It seems like it'd be seriously dangerous, and one problem would be an issue, and your whole thing's gone. Like, it's done.
Seriously. Well, I guess my first thought when you talked about it was that they were going to actually build it up there.
That would be impossible, I think.
I mean, here's the crazy thing. So when Germany invaded Russia in the Second World War, the Russians were able to mobilize and move all of their heavy industry way, way back east behind the Ural Mountains. They had people disassemble all of these factories, ship them, thousands of miles east behind the mountains where they couldn't be reached by German bombers. And they rebuilt them, which is a pretty amazing feat, honestly. And they basically used Russian slave labor. They, put all these Russian people to work. A lot of them died because you're working, again, in a place that was not unlike the moon, and that it was very inhospitable. But, they managed to get it done. But building a nuclear reactor, or even putting a nuclear reactor on the moon seems, I don't know, man, it just seems nuts. And here's the thing. You can harness the power of the sun without leaving the planet. How about that? They have these things called solar panels.
Never heard of it.
Yeah.
You're totally woke.
Totally woke liberal. Yeah, what do you know?
I mean, we were making great progress towards that. And then one guy comes in and says that China hates solar energy, China hates wind power, and none of it's true. But if this is all
China's embracing it.
Oh, yeah. And they're killing with it, actually, for better or for worse. But it just comes down to what you believe and who you believe, I guess. Some channels are just all about, I don't know, lying to you, for lack of a better word.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But I will tell you this, there's a lot of focus going on with Trump and his peeps about that American Eagle ad, which was very upsetting.
Yeah. So, so you've got Sydney Sweeney, who's, a very attractive young woman, actress, blonde-haired, blue-eyed, right? Talking about jeans. So, very clever copywriting. Okay, she's wearing jeans, pitching jeans with a J, but talking about jeans with a G. So, there's a bit of a controversy because people are thinking, well, she's clearly, making a reference to blonde-haired, blue-eyed jeans are superior.
Yeah.
All right, whatever. It's advertising. I could see where, some people can read into that. Am I gonna throw a rod and bust a gut over it? No, it's stupid advertising. The only thing that really upset me about it was the concept was a ripoff from a Brooke Shields 1980s ad.
Yeah.
Seriously? Come on. As a copywriter, I'm offended by that. Your concept is stale. It's been done. Maybe you were hoping nobody remembered it, but buddy, nothing dies on YouTube. You weren't even trying.
And they just put the spin on it to kind of make it like, this is what the woke left is really mad about. And literally Fox News has been talking about it for 13 days.
Again, and you're the only ones talking about it. The woke left doesn't care. First of all, who the hell shops at American Eagle? Have you been there since college? No, I didn't even know they were still around. I didn't even know it was still a thing. I mean, the last time we went was when they used to have those giant outlet sales. You could get a pair of like topsiders for $2 and a bunch of crappy shirts that you picked up because they were so cheap and you never wore again.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we quit we quit our good humor job to go to that big outlet sale, if you recall.
Important at the time.
Yeah.
I hated that job anyway.
Oh, that job sucked.
But it becomes a great distraction. So they talk very little about Epstein. and the list and anything else that could be contradictory to Trump's wonderful world that he lives in, to the point where now they're putting up, the Department of Defense. We've got the Secretary of Defense right here.
Wearing his American jeans.
And it makes a comment about he's got great genes. Hegseth has great genes.
Yeah, he's got alcoholic genes.
A lot of service members were pretty pissed because they feel like, if he's got time to joke around and do this kind of stuff, he's not really serving the people that he's supposed to be protecting.
Yeah, no, I mean, dude, if you're actively serving and, you've devoted your life to this country, you put it on the line, and nothing but respect for the people that serve. But to have this clown in charge of everything, this guy who's, got his own makeup studio and clearly doesn't know how to keep anything secret. And just, I like to get out there and work out with the troops.
Warrior mentality.
It's great. Join a CrossFit box, buddy. You have no business being in that job. And the fact that you're still in it, I don't know whose balls he's gargling, but it's obscene, man. I think it's outrageous and it's upsetting. So I can't even imagine what the people serving whose, lives could potentially be at risk because of this clown. I can't even imagine. Again, these are not serious people.
And they already have been. I mean, we know about Signalgate. We know when he said it was no big deal, that it was classified information that he was putting on that app. I mean, like you said, they're just not serious people. And again, it was upsetting to any of the armed service members or families, frankly, because do your job. If you didn't want to do that, don't sign up for it. You could wear your jeans, you could wear your belt buckle, you could do all the stuff you want to do.
Drink all you want.
But again, it's really to protect the great one, which is the one they're looking after because he's so amazing and such a great business person, et cetera, et cetera.
Oh, yeah. Just the most amazing mind ever. The greatest brain in history.
And to that greatness, I want to throw this up. I think we all remember what this is. Yeah. It's COVID. And of course, it's rising. We always say summer, into fall type of thing. But Texas has a pretty high transmission rate. 1 in 38 are actively infected. Walgreens reporting the highest COVID positivity in the U.S. at 33.5%. This was a new summer high. 1 in 95 are actively affected in the U.S., which is higher today than during the majority of the pandemic, if you can believe it. So these numbers are a little bit scary. If you look, Moderna has a shot that's more effective. But what did we do? We started restricting. If you recall, we talked about this. You have to be 65 plus or over 12 years of age with a health condition to get the booster. We're not giving it out. You can't request it unless you're 65 plus and meet the criteria. All this is happening. We're restricting it as, key measuring the wastewater, positive tests and ER visits are skyrocketing. All of Florida, all the test sites, which we talked about last Saturday, I believe, are testing positive. So it's here. Again, just like the labor number lady, you don't have to believe it if you don't see it. So we're not seeing any numbers, so it must be fine.
Oh, I'm sure it's fine then, yeah. Ignore that sickness you're feeling. You're fine. Get to work.
And maybe share it with somebody you love. Okay.
Sure. Don't wear a mask, you commie.
I mean, it's just crazy because I guess people won't be missing work if they've already been laid off.
Yeah.
But again, food costs, as we continue to talk, 3% rise in meat, poultry, fish, and eggs have risen 5.6%. Eggs alone are up 27%. And now this is happening where if you have a standard job, you get 10 to 14 days off. Congress gets 98 to 105 days off.
Yeah, and if things aren't breaking the way you want to, if there's a story or a vote you want to put off, you take off early. What's a few extra days?
And you're still getting $174,000, which is the salary, plus perks, all the insider trading you can do.
Yeah, all the grifting you can do. And don't forget that pension and that gold-plated health care that you get for life.
It is pretty amazing. And that's why people never leave that job unless they have to. But
Yeah, Chuck Grassley.
still at it. He's a little bit upset with Trump. So we'll see where that goes.
Probably nowhere.
I
It's
don't know.
ridiculous.
I mean, and it just, I don't know. I'm almost at a loss because again, none of these are hair raising per se, but altogether, it's just all of it's terrible. And it's not, there's no foresight to it. There's no progressiveness to any of these ideas. That ballroom's not going to really get used. It's a lot of money for what?
He's going to use that to hold private gatherings for all of his fucking wealthy friends and people that want to come and pay a ransom to meet with the king. That's exactly what he's going to do with that. Why you can't do that in your own office, I don't know. Why you need this ballroom for it, but it's fucking insane. And it's an obscenity when you're cutting social services, you're cutting any kind of research or information about climate change, things that are actively affecting the future of this country because you want to build a $200 million ballroom. It makes no sense. It really doesn't. And I wonder, man, how far are we from the tipping point where people are just like, enough, and they take to the streets with torches and pitchforks?
Seems like
It happened in France.
Seems like it should be getting closer and closer. I mean, I know you've been to the Barrier Reef. It's not something I've been fortunate enough to see, but they feel like the Barrier Reef is suffering from its biggest annual drop in live coral since the 80s, and we just aren't stopping. Coral can't recover fast enough for what we're polluting it with. I mean, we've hit the tipping point, and nobody seems to really care.
I know. I feel really lucky that I got to see it back in the 90s when, it was thriving and healthy. It was amazing. I've never seen anything like it.
I mean, the indifference is crazy. Hong Kong had their highest daily rainfall since August of 1884. There's definitely some things going on. It would be nice if we were a little bit more progressive in trying to deal with these issues. One of my happy endings, and I'll throw it in here, is we have had our first ever U.S. class action lawsuit to force the EPA to reinstate $3 billion in climate change programs. This isn't just a woke thing. This is not for profit. These are tribes. These are local governments that are supposed to be, run like your federal government, where they take care of their citizens, especially in areas where you have people coming and using the waterways, et cetera, or just don't like polluted water or drinking water. We'll see how far that goes. We know if it goes to the Supreme Court, we all have trouble because it goes nowhere. But, I mean, come on.
Well, yeah, and the thing that's really galling is just the fact that this court doesn't feel that they need any explanation over the rulings that they make, the bizarre, clearly biased rulings that they make in favor of Trump and the GOP. We don't owe you an explanation. This is our ruling.
Because we know better than you.
Yeah, it's absurd. And, we never did get any kind of explanation about what Trump said to Justice Kennedy that day when he pulled him into the cloakroom.
He was awfully startled.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's ridiculous.
I don't even know where we go from there, but day after day, it's slowly chipping away. And I do feel like, to your point, people are starting to catch on. We talked about the other day, and one of my happy endings, again, was going to be about the Smithsonian, with so much pushback about taking down the impeachment exhibit, or at least taking down Trump. They will put it back up. They heard from enough people. It is our history. You can't change history just because the one gentleman in the Oval Office today doesn't care for it. I'm sure Clinton would have liked to have taken it out of there too. Andrew Jackson, if you dug him up, he'd probably say the same thing. But it's history. You can't rewrite it. So that was a real positive. And I just want to throw the other happy ending, since I've thrown the other ones out there. Musk is the least popular figure in America.
Just America?
Just America.
Huh.
It's a start. I'm not worldly. You already know the Europeans haven't been buying his car. The Germans, he was down 90%. Yeah, Tesla's so desperate to keep him in the fold that they just gave him $29 billion to stick around.
Yeah, I don't get it. I have no idea why.
Keep in mind, in the last month, at least the last 10 days, Musk has given to Trump's super PAC about $15 million. People aren't really sure why. You guys are fighting publicly, but you're funding him on the back end. So
I guess they're not fighting anymore. I don't know. I guess that third party idea kind of crashed and burned, kind of like the Cybertruck.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
he was injured.
I mean, these are two assholes stuck in the same pot. So you kind of need, little riff, this little spat that the boys had, a little slap fight, wasn't going to last.
Well, maybe some of that was for show. Maybe some of that's for sympathy. I don't really know, but I don't think that Musk's ever going to recover. I think people have seen too much. I think they watched what he did with the DOGE. I think him coming out with that chainsaw. There's just burned in images of his performance that's just too much to overcome.
The ketamine kid.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I guess we'll see what comes next with him. But the economic numbers have been pretty terrible. I think the rest of the world's catching on to the fact that this guy, like you said, if his lips are moving, he's lying. He talked about the money that Japan's going to invest and gave him to invest in our country. That they came out and said that was a lie. It's just not a thing. The EU giving him money to use at his discretion in the States, not a thing. Talking about manufacturing coming back to this country, it is not happening. First of all, Trump came out today and said, inner city people aren't very good at picking crops. And when you go out to the farm and you have farmers that hire undocumented that happen to be Hispanic, they're really good at it. It's what they do. And it's backbreaking work. But then Trump pointed out that when he asked the farmer what happens if they hurt their back, he says they don't hurt their back because they'll die. And it seemed like a really weird commentary about
slavery. No,
it sounded pretty off-putting. I think when you talk about him trying to get inner city people to do this job, he's talking about Black people. And clearly when he's talking about the farmers who are hiring now or had hired in the past, you're talking about Hispanics. So across the board, it's offensive to pretty much everybody. And then you're also telling him that Whitey's too much of a big baby to be able to do anything about it anyway. Hey, you guys can't do this. You're weak.
Well, then quit rounding up and deporting the people that do it.
I know,
you
right?
Big dummy.
Well, maybe he's catching on very slowly. I'm not sure. But he doesn't say a whole lot without offending people. And that's a fact.
Mm-hmm.
So
that is a true statement.
Yeah. So I don't really know how we're going to fix some of this, but I do think paying attention and staying on focus to what actually is important. It's not really the ballroom. It's not really Sweeney's jeans. It's not even Hegseth's jeans. Who really cares? But he's not qualified for that job. He shouldn't be there. She looks great in a pair of jeans. Super. But I don't need Ted Cruz chiming in, J.D. Vance, and Trump. Trump really thought she was amazing. Oh, what a figure, he said.
She's too old for him.
Once he found out that she registered as a Republican, he was all in.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah. So, Hey, vote how you want. I really don't care. That's not upsetting to me. But I would think if you were presented the Republican option at the top of the ticket and it was him, you might have enough sense to know that he's a terrible person. But
a terrible person, a terrible president, a terrible businessman, a terrible father, terrible husband. You pick your pick. He's terrible at everything.
Because of the terribleness, I just want to touch real quick on Maxwell. She did get moved to that
cushy jail.
Yeah, the cushy jail in Texas. I did see where a lot of the inmates are pretty upset that she's there because that is supposed to be for nonviolent criminals. Everybody in that facility feels like she is a violent criminal.
She's a predator, pedo.
And any of the testimony that you saw in her trial, they're just facts. She was not only part of the grooming, but she participated. A lot of times she was much worse to the children than Epstein was. So I see no reason why she should be able to skate on her atrocities, so to speak. But they're waiting. They're waiting for the big pardon. They're waiting for him to pardon her and anybody else he can throw in there. And we'll see how people react to that. But the family so far and the victims in their own right have come and approached the Justice Department saying, you're protecting the wrong people. Mm-hmm. You're protecting her when you should have been protecting us. We've already been through this. We're going to do this again. You're going to, uproot our lives again and put this predator back on the streets.
Yeah, it's horrific.
It really is. So I think we're coming to a crossroads where people either have empathy and care for others, because in the same article, I saw people saying, hey, woke people, get over it. And it's not something you get over if you've ever been victimized.
Pedophilia is not a woke or non-woke thing. It's a fucking
criminal.
Disturbing. It's criminal. It's disgusting. It ruins lives. So yeah, you're either pro or against pedophilia. I don't think it matters what you register to vote as. Although I will say, how many Republicans seem to get caught involved in these things.
Yeah, it's not the trans community. It's usually a faith leader or a camp counselor, or they're generally white men.
Or a sheriff.
Or a sheriff, sure. I mean, we're seeing it every day. It's really disturbing.
Yeah, and so to let it off, unbelievable. And I've watched enough prison movies, and I watched Oz. You see how those people get dealt with in prison, the short eyes, as they call them.
And I hate to say you're right, but one inmate did comment that she could be killed in there, and that might just fit with what their plan is. Regardless, I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, that's what they did. I think that's what they did to Epstein too.
It wouldn't be surprising, for sure.
Oh, they reset those tapes every night at midnight. Yeah, you lose a minute or two or three.
Yeah, that's a lot. And and even Trump was calling his close friends. There was talk over the weekend and telling them, I didn't have him killed. And then he would say, but a lot of people did want him killed.
Yeah, and here's the thing. You can deny your relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, but I don't know about you. I've never drawn a picture of a naked lady to some friend of mine for their birthday and written a weird cryptic little thing about sharing secrets.
And that birthday card will be released. I think Congress has a petition to make that happen. We'll see if they'll release it once Congress has it. But listen, if it's nighttime, it's nighttime. You can't tell me it's daytime if it's nighttime. I mean, we're getting to the black and white of this, and it's really time for people to just decide. This is the party that protects pedophilia. It's unacceptable on all levels, anywhere and everywhere.
Well, I'm starting to wonder now what that meeting with Vance and Murdoch was actually about, because Fox News certainly seems to have changed their tune after Vance went there, and Trump threatened a $1 billion lawsuit. So I don't know if Murdoch fell in line. I don't know what's going on, but nothing would surprise me. The corruption is so deep.
And that, to your words, that is the defamation case against Murdoch has been pushed back.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a $20 billion case that we're going to put that on hold for a little bit, see how you guys play ball.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, dude. Murdoch's got that kind of money in his couch cushion.
This is true.
I'm sure J.D. Vance tried to stick his dick into while he was there visiting.
But he also likes to be topical and in the moment, and it keeps him in the headlines instead of just some old crusty white guy that people can't stand.
I know, like the fucking living embodiment of Montgomery Burns.
Exactly.
Excellent.
That's a horrible way to end, and that whole topic to me is extremely off-putting, disturbing, and
yeah. Well, let's jump to the happy endings, because I actually have one today.
I'm listening.
The Willie Stargell stamp. Did you see it?
I did.
Yeah. Pretty happy ending, right?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. Forever stamps are now 78 cents, but I would put Captain Willie on any of my stamps.
Hell yeah. Super 70s sports guy had a good tweet about it. It was a picture of the stamp, and it said, every letter that I put this stamp on, it ends up in Pittsburgh.
Is that right?
Yeah, and some of the comments were really good. Some of them were like, oh, well, everything that I send ends up going over the out of Dodger Stadium because he was the first guy to hit a ballpark or hit a
500
baseball
feet.
out of Dodger Stadium. Or mine keep ending up in that swimming pool outside of the old Montreal Stadium because he hit a ball into the public pool that was outside of the old Parc Géry in Montreal. So yeah, Captain Willie, man, that guy was a bomber.
He was amazing.
And the Pirates and Phillies hated each other back in the 70s, but he hit several balls up into the upper deck at the old Veteran Stadium, and they put the Stargell Star up there on those seats that the ball hit. So
Heck yeah.
nothing but respect.
Like I say, support your local post office, please. 250 years of service. They do an amazing job, and that shouldn't be discounted.
Yeah.
The rest of this policy making
Disaster.
Disturbia. But I appreciate your happy ending. I'm a big fan of Captain Willie. I did see those stamps. I'm going to have to look for them. They don't come in my booklet that they send every couple months for new stamps. But
yeah, keep an eye out for them.
I definitely will. Well, Billy, I appreciate your time today. I think we should probably wrap it up because it's a little later today. But
yeah,
we'll catch up later today and see about having some fun skating.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. Well, again, I hope you have a good rest of your day. Till I see you later. All right. Let's see you.